Hey everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Stuff, just hanging out. Let me get these last little settings in. I have about an hour before I have to go do some other chores and stuff and running around errands, so I thought I would keep working on my gorgeous Brontosaurus, the Tontor from Parabellum. Thank you guys so much for sending this out to me. And we're going to be just hanging out, chatting. So as you hang out with me, please let me know what you are working on. At this point, this boy is mostly done, like the actual Saurus is done. Now I have to build sort of like the Howdah platform on his back. But yeah, let me know if you can see and hear me okay. We'll go to the downward and we'll start. I'm gonna put him there just in case anyone pops in. Keitaro, oh my god, I finally get to meet Doug. Hey! Hi! I promise, I assure you I am nothing special. Okay, let's see. So we're starting. I got the tail on. Now we need this crap. Okay. 39 and 40. Yeah, it's going to be 40. Oh, wait, that's one of them. Okay. Tell me, buddy, what are you working on today? Or if you're just popping in to hang out with us. And if you have anything you'd like to chat about, please let me know. You say you finally get to talk to me. Let's talk. Let's see, that's 42. The way that they have all of his bits spread out on these sprues is a bit crazy. I mean, I get it. All these things are so big that, like, to make them all work under one box under man, you kind of have to jumble them around, but they're just not even near. Not even kind of near each other. Okay, let's see. Hey Doug, hey chat, hey Robin. Your lore videos are the reason my wallet is empty. Ha! You make every faction interesting. I'm working on Cities of Sigmar at the moment. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay, so now we need 39 and 40. That is exceptionally kind of you to say. I have been told by many a lovely married couple that I am the source of many arguments. In jest, of course. There's a husband and wife who played Warhammer with me back out in Seattle. Oh, is this him? 40, here we go. They show you the picture of, like, the shape, what it looks like, but it's hard to get a sense of scale. So sometimes you think you're looking for a tiny piece and it's like this behemoth. If you have a Warhammer model next to you, can you put it for size comparison? Oh yeah, to this guy? Sure, so we'll call that the base. Obviously that foot is flat. Let me grab a model here. Let's do a really basic orc. I'm trying to hold them at the same base level. That sounds about right. But yeah, that's what it would look like. Or I suppose we could go the vertical way. He almost touches the camera. He comes nowhere near it. Anyway, I like having him here just as a little buddy to look over me. And let's see. But yes, he is for Conquest. He is the new Tontor model. Their big, I don't know, mega Wadroon thing. And I was excited as a bearer of a Wadroon army. Which I do need to do a follow-up video. Things got crazy towards the end of my Paint Along League. And I had to dip out, unfortunately. But that's okay. We will rebuild. 39, yeah, when you only have shapes to look for, it gets a little hairy. No. Oh wow, massive, yeah. Yep. 57, no. Forgive me, this is why I don't typically build live, because it's just not fun to watch someone look for a small part on a sprue. But hopefully we have some good chats coming. Let me know if you guys want to chat about anything. Anything been on your mind lately as far as thoughts on the new model series? Oh, I guess we could do an Ask Me Anything about Dawnbringer stuff, if you'd like. I unfortunately don't have a physical copy I can bust out and show you, which is why I haven't done any of those videos in a long time. That's why I actually stopped doing the Path to Glory series, because they stopped sending me physical books, and there's like, have this digital one. It's like, I don't want the damn digital one. I want to be able to show it to people. Okay. 39. What am I not seeing? Okay, so it'd have to be a big long one to go across that breadth. Are you my number? They have like 18 little things that are like made in Poland, but there's nothing that actually says that this is the piece. But I think it is. Let's see. Let's line it up and see. Oh yeah, she's a beaut. Okay, that's it. But yes, he's a big boy. I was on they do like hobby hangouts or whatever with the crew. I think they call them like happy hours or something, where basically the staff at Parabellum hop onto a group call, and you can call in, you know, like a radio show type thing. It's kind of fun. And they just go through and answer questions, and you can raise your hand and ask them or whatever. But during that happy hour presentation, one of the owners of the company, he went and got a Morkanaut or a Gorkanaut, whatever the big one, the big orc, whatever. Stompa, is that it? But basically it is just shorter than one of those, and what it's short by is like the antenna. So I was like, I feel like the model start. If you can't shoot it at the antenna in the game, I don't feel like I would get too hung up on it's the actual height of the model. I feel like this is taller in terms of, you know, it uses that vertical height. But he was like, oh man, we're just off by a little bit. If we pushed a little further, we could have had the tallest model. I was like, dude, you gotta think about people being able to carry this thing. But this gives me now a Tauntaur and 2 of the T-Rexes. Apex Predators. To get all you need, complete, not play. That's Growl Knight. No numbers on the sprue, but numbers on the build instructions. Oh, they're on the sprue. Yeah, no, it was just that particular sprue. Where the numbers would be, they had all their like 2002 Parabellum Limited, all that kind of stuff, but everywhere else they were very well defined, and there's even an arrow pointing to which one they go to. So it's actually quite nice. That was the only piece that had the issue. Just get a premium, yes, a premium box specifically for him. What was that movie? Oh man, I'm gonna age myself here or date myself. Where there was like a bunch of baby versions of dinosaurs that existed, and someone was trying to like abduct them for science, and then this like family had to keep the mini dinosaurs. They're not babies, they're mini. It's like a mini T-Rex, mini Brontosaurus. It's kind of how I feel right now. I have 2 T-Rexes on the shelf looking at me. This guy, it's like, hell yeah. I am the Dino King. I do feel like that. I love it. And you can't put a price on that. I don't know if it was like a Disney Plus movie or whatever. Okay, let's see. Hoping for some more chaos in the Dawnbringers. Yeah, you know, I was too, to be honest. However, it looks like we're getting set up for some in the next book. There's at minimum a Khorne army at the gates of Hammerhall Akshi. And it was kind of strange how they just blew past the Nurgle stuff, because that was kind of the dominant focus in the first book. I thought that was a bit peculiar, but, you know, for all we know, that's because the other forces are walking towards Gioran now, or Hammerhall now, rather than the Crusade, which is what we were following in this book, so I don't know. But I'll be honest, I was kind of in the same boat. I was like, okay, I mean, obviously, Reign of the Brute is the name of the book. They got the big pig model out there. I do feel like that model was used a lot in the stories, which I like. If you're gonna, you know, make a big deal about something, showcase it. Oh, wow, okay. There's a bunch of little nubs that I apparently missed. Here we go. Okay, let's see. I never wanted a model as much as that Bronto. Oh, yeah, I think you'll like it here at the end. I'll showcase a bunch of stuff with it. Have you guys in the chat seen my Apex Predator? Here, let me grab it for you. I wanted to show this. So this is the T-Rex I have. Oh, probably better if I flip them this way. And they have a lot of feathers and stuff. And for the Wadroon, my army at least, the way that I'm painting it is the orcs themselves are very dark and subdued, but everything that they ride is very bright and colorful. I want that to be a nice contrast. I have infantry stuff, but let's be honest, I'm here for orcs on dinosaurs. So all my raptor riders, all my everything, they're all super bright. And so for this guy, I was thinking of doing either a black skin on the bottom here, and then along the back doing like a bright red stripe. I think the red might be a fun pop compared to the blue of the Predator. I certainly don't want them to match in terms of color because they're different species, but they can, I don't know, kind of bring the same thing, I guess, to the aesthetics of it all. Let's see. Only Conquest supporting LGS closed down a few months back. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Doug, lore question. I thought Fire Slayer Lodge women were rare and don't fight usually, or am I getting Dark Iron Wharf and Fire Slayer's lore mixed up? That is definitely one that has evolved over time. So I don't think you're probably not wrong initially with that. At some point they said that. However, I'm not sure in the last battle tome that was really articulated very well. I don't think they were really talking much about female dwarves and stuff, so I don't know. I'm not quite sure where these ladies fit into the hierarchy, but I mean, all of that could easily be explained away with, like, in these troubling times, you know, Rosie the Riveter's step up and can you hold a weapon? Yes. Awesome. You're in the army now. I mean, we've definitely done that a few times in history, right? Times in human history where women don't fight on the battlefield. Sometimes they do. If the situation demands it and you have an opposable thumb and can hold a knife and or we can glue a knife to you, congrats. You just got drafted. Oh, man. Are you going to use your boar idol as a pig conversion? Oh. I would need to think about that, because, let's see, he's right here. So what would be the difference here? I would have to get a platform on both sides and a champion to somehow stand on top. That's not a bad idea. but I might have to get a second pig and start on that, because it would be really nice to be able to saw this flat and put the howdah on top. But yeah, I don't know if I would do any more conversions on that particular one. That one's special to me. But I might get a second. This file's out there. I'm sure I can find someone to print it. You can use them as the regular version without the two guys on sides. Oh, okay. That's true, that's right. Okay, so I would just need a rider then. That seemed much more doable. Okay, so that, and then they want us to clip out this base. I'm working on building my bolt action conflict 47. Oh, Soviets today. Waiting on crushed glass. Ooh. We actually have a big community in my town of bolt action people, and I love the game mechanics. I do. I think Warlord Games knocked it out of the park. The thing that I don't like is that it's set in World War II. I wish they had more options. I wish there was a different time. I know they have side games or whatever, but it's clearly their flagship product, and I don't know. It's a bit much. It's a bit much for me. That's why I tend to like Horus Heresy is a fun historical-esque game that scratches that itch for me. Okay, and then he has this like ring that's gonna go around him of bone that locks this in. So let's get that. I did cement there just to bind it a little bit faster so we can move into the next parts. Okay. Yeah, a lot of my games that I play aren't supported by LGS around here. Yeah. I prefer the weird conflict side. I agree, and I can maybe get into that. Like, I can enjoy the game like Wolfenstein or something like that, which is kind of what I would equate that to. Yeah. Yep. I adore the alternating activations, but drawn randomly. I always thought that was really cool and very dynamic. Okay, where's the other one? Ah, here it is. There we go. I know you hate building, but with that platform, you're getting closer, buddy. I know. I stopped when I finished the other guy, but I know that once this gets going, it's going to be real quick. There's more pieces for the riders than there are for the actual dinosaur himself. I swear. They like shattered all those little dudes into 1,000 little bits. Which is funny, because generally their kits are not that way. They don't tend to have like a billion little pieces. But alas, there is always an exception that proves the rule, right? The only thing, and it's the only downside I have to this kit, is that you buy it as either the Tauntaur or the Gong Beast. Now, even though most of the model is the same, the different sprues they give you are what's on his back. So they sent me the Tauntaur version, but it doesn't come with any parts to build the other one. So if you wanted both, you would have to buy 2 of those models. You cannot magnetize them. And I'm not super stoked about that. But then again, counterpoint, they're so big and points consuming that you really wouldn't reasonably be able to field 2, so pick which one you like the most and just kind of go with it. Hail Caesar and Warlord of Arrowin are games based on same dice draw. I think Draw Pleat, where you have been activation groups decide to start a return. Oh yeah, I know Gates of Antares is. I also like the the system that Legion has too, where your commander, you pick it and then you random draw. That's kind of a good in between as well. You know you're going to activate next, but not necessarily what. I kind of dig that. I just love those games that like really reward you for looking at the board and then reacting. Like that, those are always my fave. Okay. Oh wait, probably helps if I don't have it on backwards, y'all. Yes. And the sides come together? Okay. Aha. This, I will give you a heads up if you get this model. It is definitely one where you have to kind of like shimmy the parts around to like make it fit. You get them to the approximate area and then you just kind of, we'll see what happens. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Yeah, I'm just putting a ton of plastic glue down because if this guy lifts, we're in trouble. I'm just gonna hold it here for a hot sec and hang out with the chat. So go ahead and drop some stuff in there for me to read and chat with if you guys want to. Gates of Antares, that's not Warlord, is it? That's Mantic? Is that right then? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was. Good vibes. Hey, thank you. Hey Doug, what do you think of the new Trogoth model in AOS? I like him. Trug, the Trog King, or whatever. I like him. I don't know enough about the Gloomspite Battle Tome in terms of like how it plays to say like if I think he really brings a lot to the faction. But the model is stellar, and I don't know, man. Anything that can make Trogs more interesting or better or playable or anything like that, I'm generally here for it. I feel like they are a part of the gamosphere that is easy to brush over, you know? And I don't know why. I did just pick up my Infinity Endsong pre-order bundle. I have not been able to find any person who plays Infinity nearby. Apparently, so I lived in Iowa and then went away to Seattle for a bit and then came back. And in that time, Infinity exploded in popularity to where people could not stock it enough. And then just disintegrated. Because like I'm looking online, everybody here locally has like a used Infinity army for sale. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like, you know, do people play it? I can maybe pop into that. No, everything's used because everybody got out of the game simultaneously. I don't know why. I get the sense that there was something locally happen, like a community rift or something. And I was like, I don't need to be a part of any of that. No drama here. Self-proclaimed no drama mama Doug Griggs does not tolerate that. Let's see. Ah, here it is. I lost the cap to my. So far, this is the only joint that I have come across that does not bind very well in terms of the pieces don't want to stay together. I hope KB Travets get the Gloom Spike kits. Oh, I see. Hey Doug, nice to finally catch one of these. Hey, Kesman. What we got? Maybe it's just a boring. Game. What are the KB Trogoths? What am I missing? KB. They're not. Oh, the Cruel Boys Trog. Oh, like those ones? No, that's not ringing a bell. Surprised by its rigid bendiness. They use some really good plastics. This is the only piece that I've had trouble with, and it's because it's two pieces coming together like a halo. But overall, I've been pretty impressed. Sloggeth and the Meyer Brew. Oh, I don't know anything about those. You hope they get the Gloom Spike Gits glow up. So just in terms of like a rules buff for anything that is Trogoth or Trogoth related. Man. I got an idea. It's kind of dumb, but we'll see if it works. Okay. Let's see if we can get some extra hands on here to hold this guy where he ought to be. And I have a whole bunch of zip ties all zip tied together. Yeah, look at that. When the model gets hard, the neck gets redder and you just figure it out. Thought you'd outsmart me. Now I'm going to go ahead and put one more layer of plastic glue because for some reason this does not want to bind. So we're just going to torture and melt the plastic until it conforms. Much like society. Okay, here we go. Loving the chill lo-fi? Oh yeah, I have a whole playlist that I have just specifically for hanging out and jamming here. Let's see. Been so long. Yeah, hey Willie, what's up? Binging Your Emperor Protects podcast. It's fantastic. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, we're actually recording the next one. What, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So I'm excited for that as well. Let's see, next, we got that on, we got this on. Next are the side horns. Okay, let's get it. Yes, we're doing Fear to Tread, if you don't know. That is the one that kind of... it doesn't introduce us to the Blood Angels. I mean, it does in the literal sense of, like, we have never covered a Blood Angel story quite yet on the channel. Oh, well, all these These sprues are getting tied together here. One sec. Need you. I need you. These two go to the side for right now. Okay. But yeah, we were getting ready to do that one, and I have to say that was a book that I lost myself in. Like, it was awesome. We've read some stinkers. I'll be the first to admit, but that was a good one. I wasn't really a big fan of what is it, the second book in the series? I don't know. But it has been an absolute blast. The Blood Angels to me were always a chapter of Space Marine that just didn't appeal to me, but just like with the White Scars, having their story in the right context and seeing them from the right angle helps immensely. And I realized at the end of it, I was like, I adore this story. These guys are awesome. Like, I don't want to start a Blood Angels army, but it's really cool. That's how you get the highest Doug rating for lore, is if I want to start an army for it. I can convince people to start armies of any faction, but if I, Doug, am the sucker, then you know it's good. That's not true. But thoughts like these amuse myself. Okay. The key to a good painting playlist, in my opinion, is no bird music. So, like, if you ever heard lo-fi and, like, birds start chirping, just shut that down. Windmill slam that off button. People trying to put bird sounds and everything. It's like, nah, bro. Killing that lo-fi. I think I may have asked this before, but a few people have joined our chat since. What's everybody working on? So one more recap. This is my Tauntor for Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings. I guess First Blood too, but taking this guy in the First Blood version seems rough. Seems rude. You bring one Tauntor and your opponent has like 12 men-at-arms against him. Like, what are they going to do? Poke him? And you... There we go. Okay, sweet. Hopefully we are in sort of the home stretch for him. I think he just has the big horn things on his side, which look great. And the building up the howdah with the riders on the back. I think the riders are going to take the most time from that part for sure. Let me ask you this, Wargaming Willie, do you have a favorite book that we've covered or one that you would like us to cover next? Because we have not selected our next one, and that goes for anybody in the chat if you want to throw a suggestion out there. This is for The Emperor Protects, my 30K Horus Heresy podcast, where me and my buddy Dan read the books so that you don't have to. Basically, that is the entire sales pitch of the show. It's just think reading's stupid? Let me do it. And we essentially go through the main plot of each of the books and then round out with a discussion on the themes and its importance and all that. And then here on the channel soon, I'm going to be starting up a Horus Heresy lore series, starting with a campaign book, The Siege of Chthoniya. So if you like Heresy and my lore videos, get ready for that. I think I said it before that, like, campaign books are just my absolute favorite. Not so much with 40K, because I find that their campaign books tend to not be super fun for some reason. I don't know, I gotta think about why that is. But in general, I like it for the other game that they make. Hell, even the Necromunda ones are super fun. But yes, Fear to Tread was the story of the Blood Angels in the Cygnus Prime cluster, of why they weren't in the opening era, opening parts of the Horus Heresy. And it has a lot to do with themes of sacrifice and deception. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff. Sanguinius, like high fives corn. Not really, but that's kind of how I envision it. And let's see, okay, going into clean mode. I'm probably going to hop off at the end of the hour here, so whatever time that is for you locally. Got some chores to run today. As a matter of fact, I got to go pick up some stuff for my Horus Heresy army. Trying to think of, oh, somebody asked me in the chat earlier, I'll just throw this out there, if I was going to cover the short stories that they've been releasing for free online. Probably won't, simply because I don't know what I'm committing to. Right? If I want to do the whole short story series like I did for, say, Malign Portents back in the day, I didn't realize that I was signing up to do like 40 videos. That lore series was just a ton. It was a lot. And so I don't know. And then some of it, I don't believe. Like, you'll read some of those short lore stories and you're like, okay, so is this canon? I don't know. Like, there were some of those that Seraphon changing before their book did, so lore-wise, nobody uses spawning pools until this one short story did, and that kind of stuff. One and one more. I think the only thing I haven't really checked out the missions too much for the Dawnbringer Crusades books, but the only thing that really stands out to me is I feel like the missions are a bit more free. They told us in the other books, like, this force needs to have this many of this kind of unit. It was really bad during the Broken Realm series of, like, oh, you want to play the Daughters of Cain mission? You better have these exact Daughters of Cain models. And I was like, oh, that seems a bit intense. And I was like, this is the unit composition, this is everything. I was like, oh, okay. Can't just, like, build my own Daughters of Cain army. I mean, you can, of course, but I don't think I've ever seen a book where their requirements on troops were quite that specific. These tusks are a bit odd as well, now that I think about it. Let's grab... Well, I don't think I'll be able to finish most of this guy like I was hoping to. All these things need to bind together, because the Howdah is built on top of them. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, apparently you guys have been talking without me because this whole thing just like scooted up like 50 notes. So let me catch up here. I thought this is funny because your wife is a writer, but I came up with a concept for a fun little romance story set in AOS inspired by the Dawnbringer Crusades. Oh, that's fun. Yes, she would love it. Have you read Flesh and Steel? Not quite. No, not yet. Is there a good Night Lords book? So I have not gotten super far into the heresy before my buddy Dan reached out and was like, hey, we should do this podcast. So I actually hadn't read one. We have already hit the limits of everything that I knew personally about the heresy in terms of books. So I'm learning with the audience as we go. I know there's a trilogy. Yeah, by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, who I very much like as an author in person. I'm sad to see Josh Reynolds depart Black Library. I know it's a bit of a non sequitur, but he's another writer that was there, and he did a lot of good stuff for AOS. Storm of Iron is my favorite 40k book ever. Interesting. Okay, well, it looks like it was just the other one that had problems. This one snapped right in. Not the most literary masterpiece, but the story is awesome. Yeah, I enjoyed, what was it? Was it Black Talon First Mark, I think? Trying to figure out where these guys attach. Okay. Somewhere in here I can feel it. It's starting to line up. It wants to. Forgive me, I don't mean to bore you. I'm just making sure I line this one up correctly. Okay. I love AOS, but the books are hit or miss. I completely agree. And then there's some of them that are great books that would have only improved if they made them shorter. Like if they had one editor who was like, we need to take a torch to a lot of this. Oh, wait, that would be the wrong side then. Okay, I got one of them figured out. And the other... Boom, there it goes. There are like these little slots where the ropes are supposed to like pop right in, and sometimes they do, but every once in a while like it kind of rubs up against the scale of the dinosaur, like the actual literal these things scales, and it just does not seem to want to pop. Okay. I'm still hoping for the day where there's a book from the Sylvaneth of Alara's perspective. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Bam looted. My vote for the next audiobook is Night Lords of some sort, but love that podcast. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I was actually so for those of you who don't know, we're still going through like the legions and their basic lore and that kind of stuff. Like we're still introducing ourselves to all of them. We did the first 4 or 5 books in series, and then we've been kind of bouncing around meeting the legions and kind of introducing them and their lore as we go. Which has been great. But we have to be a little bit more specific when we're like, I want to learn about this legion, right? And then you have to research books on that legion. So I can do Night Lords for sure. Happy to. I'll ask my buddy Dan about that. I was either going to do Night Lords, or my thought was we got to get into the Death Guard. You gotta. Okay, and these guys will pop in like this. Yeah. Oh well, guess I have to wait. These things need to be fully cured and dried before I can do anything else. Bummer. Okay, so what's after that? We put those on. We can move past this though and go to the next step. These guys are just... Nothing actually pins to the trunks, so we can just move on and we'll plug those in last. We have a little bearskin carpet, aw, for our little baby warlord. So are you thinking Flesh Eater Courts will get an update in Summer King model before the Dawnbringer is over? Ooh, you know, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it, but by golly, what a cool idea. I don't know. I don't know if he'll get a model. I don't know anything about Flesh Eater Courts as like a faction or what to be expecting or anything like that. Kind of oblivious when it comes to them, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, this is a little carpet for our wise man to sit on. Let's get the wise guy, the village wise guy. I've heard rumors of Flesh Eater Courts, like just from blogs and stuff like that. I don't know where any of that information was gleaned. They don't tell us anything until it's like basically on store shelves. Now, hero models from Parabellum are resin. However, it is not fine cast style. It is good. Now watch, it's gonna break the second I try to show you how good it is, but I've never had an issue with one of their heroes before. And we're just doing one quick trace to get rid of any excess flash. Nope, pretty good. Death Guard would be sick as well. Super cool army. Yes, and I adore Death Guard, specifically in Horus Heresy. Not that I want to play them in a sense, but I love their story. It's just very tragic. And also well earned. You know, it's one of those things, like stories can be tragic and also everybody gets what they deserve kind of a thing. Oh, what did I do? Oh, that's okay. We can fix that. Sorry, I went quiet. I really can't figure out how this guy's supposed to go together. Like, not like his joints don't want to work or anything, but like literally he just doesn't want to click into place. Okay, I'll hold this here and I'll figure it out. What do you think the Warhammer Day previews are going to be next month? Flesh Eater Courts is still waiting for their 3rd edition Battle Tome, right? Or am I looking at my shelf? I don't think that's wrong. It could be them. I hope it is, to be honest. I hope that line gets a Gloomspite gets refresh. Oh my goodness, can you even imagine how cool that would be? Ideally, they could do that and not move away from the internal kit bashing, which is a thing that I love. Where, you know, like all their kits are based upon, or all their units are based upon like 3 kits. I'm a sucker for that. I need to listen to the Death Guard episode again. Oh, I haven't done one yet. But if you're thinking of a different show, then yes, please. This is, like I said, it's against the limits of what I know in terms of heresy lore, but my understanding is the Death Guard, the majority of them on their way to Terra got waylaid by Nurgle and subject to the worst kind of torture ever, and they all fell to chaos. Happily ever after. I want to use the Solar Auxilia Ogryn as KO mech suit conversions. That'd be rad. I wish the KO had more mech suit stuff. Oh. Sad, flaccid staff is flaccid and sad. KO Aethermetic Golem C. Yeah, that's what I want. I feel like the dwarf ranges really need to have that mix of model sizes to make them interesting, like visually. That's why I harp on like, oh, for Fire Slayers, what we need is Magmadroth Baby Cavalry. And the reason I say that is because there's nothing that fills up a slightly bigger spot than 32mm. They're all the same. It's like, well, I think we just need some different, you know what I mean? Like, the overwhelming majority of their infantry, yes, they have the big beasts, but that's not the point. How do you feel about the old world and how it's rumored not to be new sculpts, but the old ones? All but a few sculpts are in there. I will be honest. I don't have a whole lot of interest in old world, and I'm not convinced Games Workshop does either. I don't know, man. It kind of seems like there was a couple solid years of being baited of like, yeah, you're going to love this game. This game's going to be everything you want it to be. This game is going to bring your wife and kids back. Like, that's the kind of intense marketing there was for forever. And then it just, the more they talk about it, the less interesting it becomes. So it's like, stop talking about it. Because all the stuff that you would get excited for when you're like, oh, Games Workshop's going to support a game, kind of like different kinds of sets and faction intros, and they kind of just keep walking it back. And I feel like just being on square bases is not enough of a unique proposition to make it stand out from other games. Because right now, in terms of rank and flank, Mantic and Parabellum have a good market share because they made game systems that make it easy to play those things. You know, movement systems and stuff like that. Like, I might have to just drill this. It sucks. I broke the tip of his staff. That was all me. I leveraged the knife wrong. But I know it's not really going to be visible. And that's the pain of it, is like, I don't want him to be in the, because there's going to be like a tent that goes over the top of him. But I'm just going to put that to the side. We'll let him dry. We'll figure it out later. The man himself, though, he can have a seat. Magmadroth Chariot? I think that'd be great. Heck yeah. Just make it like the Black Coach, right? Like where it's got that very, very pronounced base. It takes up a huge hunk of the physical space of the board. Yeah. I'm here for that. Let him sit right there.
I just hope that someday someone would love me.
It's funny because if you still had a Warhammer Fantasy Battle army, you have to rebase it anyway. Wait, you have to rebase it anyway? Like, if you had square rank and flank, are they different? I will support Kings of War forever. Yes. There's the die-hard fan base to that game. And I actually did a demo of it at Adepticon. And it was pretty fun, I have to say. I wasn't, like, blown away. And that could just be the simplicity of the demo forces. Like, I fully acknowledge that. But I feel like in demos, the most important thing is you have to showcase, especially at these conventions, specifically why is your game different / better than another person at the booth directly next to you. Not that it's a competition, but you need to be highlighting, you know, marketing is just highlighting what makes you interesting and hoping that your preferred customers flock to you, right? And maybe they just didn't give a demo that really demonstrated that. But tell me, why do you... Oh, I see. No, you don't have to base them only for tournaments. Interesting. The square bases are bigger now. Of course they are. I love it. I love it. You can get pills for the flaccid staves. Oh man. The base size is changing for the smaller bases for sure, but they have not revealed at least the changes. Interesting. I did not know that part. Bam, looted. Doug, where do you think we are going for the next Dawnbringer Crusade? Probably the Corn attack. Maybe some Korgus Cull coming back. I'm going to make this promise to my chat right now. If they bring back Korgus Cull, I am doing a Blades of Korm army. He is one of my favorite characters. He's super rad. He woke up and immediately got into a drunken fist fight after he got knocked out at the end of the first book. And I think he's just a beast. I hope so. But yes, so we have the Korn army that we know of. The Nurgle stuff, I'm not sure if it was passing them to go towards Hammerhall Girion, or if like that is the extent of the Nurgle presence, was them shuffling swiftly past it. But I don't know. As far as other enemies, I'm trying to think of the Girion side. Obviously, there's still the Destruction Army that's present. I don't... aside from the Flesh Eater Courts, I didn't get any major... Actually, that's it, right? Flesh Eater Courts attacking Girion with Nurgle. That's what it was in the first book. I totally forgot about him. So... hopefully Flesh Eater Courts, and they get a bunch of new models just like all the Iron Jaws did. I think it's fair to say that would be a nice... That'd be a treat. Do you ever think Malleus Darkblade will make a return? They really have not been kind to Dark Elves in terms of keeping models and characters around. You know, like Malekith or Malarian exists in lore only kind of a thing. None of his followers, children, whatever. So I don't have a lot of high hopes. I hope so, but I don't have, like, I want it to happen. Maybe his soul is like infused inside of a weapon or something, and now whoever holds it is Malleus. That could be a cool AOSE type thing. And it would kind of loosely tie in with the themes that he had with his sword. Yeah, now he is the bound thing and takes over. That could be a cool idea, I think. And I'm actually going to pause here, I think. Because at this point, everything is built where I can prime it and not cover anything, right? So like, yeah, the tusk things are in the way for painting his sides, but I can reach them very easily. Whereas the second I start building on top of here, he becomes inaccessible. Probably should have painted him separately, but I'm cool with that. I'm not going to do anything grandiose on him. So I'll just Zenithal the whole thing and pick him out from there. And it's about noon. I think I'm going to go ahead and pop off, friends. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been pretty dang fun. We built a sweet looking mini. Here, let's get our size comparison again. Boop. And where's my orc? I thought I had an orc. Here we go. Boom, there we are. That is a bone splitter compared to this guy. There we go, now they're level. So anyway, I love him. He's the beast. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I'll be hopping on pretty soon to do more of these as I try to get through my backlog. The Crusade stuff has been awesome, been a lot of fun, but it has taken a lot of energy out of me. So I'm hoping to do some more hobby and that kind of stuff. Just kind of keep it more chill. Probably for the next, I don't know, week or so, something like that. And I'll keep you guys posted. Be sure to follow me everywhere, and if you'd like to hang out, be sure to subscribe.